everybody. Okay, so for today's video, I will be talking about the Disney College Program. Woo, yay, ah. Anyway, so the Disney College Program. I did the Disney College Program from June of 2016 to May of 2017, and I was just going to kind of tell you a little bit about how I applied, what the process is, getting roommates, my amazing roommates, all of it. So let's start from the beginning. So in February of 2016, I was sitting in class and somebody mentioned the Disney College Program. So me being the very, let's get out of Texas because I'm very unhappy and very unhealthy and this is a horrible time that I am, went and Googled it, found out the Disney College Program is an internship, kind of, where you work at Disney, you get paid, you can live in Disney housing, and you get the experience. So I was like, you know what, let's do this, let's apply. So I applied. A week later I had a web-based interview, and then a week and a half later I had a phone interview. So the way it works is you apply, and when you apply you pick I picked three positions that I wanted. I chose merchandise, attractions, and character attendant. And looking back on it now, I wish I would have tried to do some like character attendant more, or maybe pushed for like PhotoPass or something since I had the experience. But I kind of just went with what I knew, which was merchandise. I told them about all the merchandise experience I had, and that's eventually where I ended up. So yeah, so you apply, they do the web-based interview, which is where they just give you scenarios and how you would handle them, and then they do a phone interview. The funny thing about the phone interview is the lady called me, she's like, this is going to be like a 10-15 minute interview. We were on the phone for 45 minutes. We just kept talking about different things. We had a lot in common. She was so nice. So yeah, so I did the phone interview, and then getting close to Easter, I got accepted, and you have 3 days to accept the acceptance. And it's $300. I think most of that's like a deposit for the apartment. So if you don't live in college housing, and I'll talk all about later, or in college program housing, you get, I think, half that money back. But anyway, so I didn't tell my family right off the bat. I kind of waited a while. Eventually everybody found out, and yeah, it was set and on a roll. So I applied, I was accepted, paid everything, good to go. Now it was time to figure out where I was going to live. So Disney College Program, you can live in Disney housing, which is where they offer you a bus system if you don't want to bring your car, which I did not. And it's easier than having to find an apartment, sign a lease, all of that. I will give a pro and a con for this. Pro, if you don't want to bring your car like I did, you do have the bus system. It is so much easier. You don't have to worry about signing a lease. You don't have to worry about finding an apartment, especially if you've never rented an apartment before. It's hard to get apartments down in Orlando without renter's history. Con, I lived with 5 other females, all of which are my best friends. Love them to death. Lived with them in a 3-bedroom, 2-bath apartment. We each shared a room, so there's 2 girls per room, and I paid almost $450 a month. They took $107 out of my paycheck every week to share a room in a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment. Now keep in mind, I didn't pay for Wi-Fi, I didn't pay for electricity, I didn't pay for water. That was all included. However, I now live in a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house or apartment. When there was just 3 of us living here, we each had our own room. We paid $516 a month. Now we did have to pay electricity on top of that, but I have my own space. Now that Taylor's moved in, she's moving around in the back, you can see her. Now that she's moved in, I pay $390 a month plus all of our utilities. So kind of con is you are overpaying for your spot, but it was easier doing that than it was if I was going to move down here and just get an apartment. However, roommates, I joined a Facebook page. It was like Disney College Program Fall Vintage 2016 Roommate Finder, and you fill out a survey, and I got linked up to my amazing roommates. Kaylee and I linked up first, and she introduced me to Ashley, Sarah, and Jessie. And then we had a 6th roommate, but she backed out. So then I found Perry, because she was going to be the one that was rooming with me specifically. And yeah, everything worked out wonderfully. They became my best friends. To this day, we are still best friends. It was a wonderful, wonderful trip. Or I guess trip, but I'm like journey is what I was trying to say, in us meeting and us getting together. Kaylee ended up driving from Cali to Texas and stayed the night with me one night, and then her and I drove the rest of the way while staying out in New Orleans for Bourbon Street. I can't talk tonight, that's fine. My roommates, y'all, were the biggest blessing. We all got along so well. It was an instant connection right away, and I literally could not have asked for the best roommate or for any better roommates than the ones that I had. We moved down, I think it was like June 13th, and it was the weekend of that horrible weekend of Christina Grimmie shooting, the Pulse shooting, the little boy. And so I really thought it was going to break us, but we all got through it. The city of Orlando got through it. That's the reason I fell in love with the city of Orlando. There was just a lot of happiness and joy in that sad weekend. And so we fell in love, and we were there, and it was a good moment for us. So you find out your location. I think it's different now. I think now DCP finds out before they get down, but I found out my location. I was at Disney Springs Merchandise at Wonderful World of Memories was my home location. I ended up eventually getting trained in all 5 stores in that area, which was like Designer T, Goofy's Candy Company, Disney Days of Christmas, and Art of Disney. And it was wonderful. I met some really good friends on top of my queens, my DCP queens from Vista Way 2307. What's up? My best friends of all time. I'm so excited that we got to share that journey together. We are still best friends. We have a group snap and a group text and a group Facebook message, and one of them... Sorry. Get out. Anyway, one of them is always going off constantly. Y'all, they are seriously... They say college is your best years and you meet your best friends, but college program, hands down, met my best friends. And we all try to get together as much as possible now that only Kaylee and I are still here. Oh, Sarah's still here. She moved back. At first, it was just Kaylee and I. All of the other ones left us. That's fine. But yeah, so we did the college program. We moved down here. We figured out where we were all going to be, and then it was just adjusting to Florida living, which was really hard with the heat because I'm used to Texas heat, but Florida heat's a different kind. And working full-time because I was working full-time hours. There were weeks where I was getting 70 hours a week. 70. Yeah. But it was a really fun time in finding myself, and you know, it pushed me to who I am today and to get healthier and to get happier. And when I first moved down here, some of the hardest things were I was in a relationship and we were doing long distance for a while, and ultimately that's what ruined our relationship and the reason we broke up. It was also hard being away from that one and the others. All my sisters, we were all super close, and it was hard to not have them right there with me. But you know, it was worth it. I'm so much happier now, and I am living the life I want to live. Once you get your location, you go and you work with these people for 6 months, and y'all, working with them was a blast. I got to go on so many journeys with these people. I went to Chicago with a friend of mine from work. I met people from all over the country, from all over the world. I still have contact with people all the time, and because of that job, I decided I wanted to go part-time with Disney. And so when January hit and all of my roommates left me, and I had to get new roommates, thanks guys, I extended until May. And then I ultimately decided to go part-time. Some of the questions I get a lot was, how did you survive with no car? Let me tell you, it was very hard. TrainStar is no joke. It is, you know, you have to leave 2 hours before work. You don't get home till 2 hours after work, but it can be done. I do recommend bringing a car if you can. However, that doesn't always happen. And when it came to actually moving into the college program, it was difficult to fit everything into a small room that you had to share, but it's just like moving into a college dorm. So I just kind of brought the essentials. Now my room, I don't know if you see it, it's huge. I have a queen size bed, I have my fan, my tapestry, everything. But yeah, it's just, y'all, it's so worth it to do it. It really brought so much joy into my life and made me open my eyes that there was a bigger world than small town Texas. Y'all, get out of Texas and don't go back. Take it from me, take it from my sister. Literally get out of Texas if you can. But it literally was just an eye-opener to how happy I could be. In these past 6 months alone, which I've been off of the program for over a year now, but these past 6 months of living in Florida have been the happiest of my life. I've you know, lost weight, and I've just found a sense of myself that I didn't have before, but it all was because of the college program. I honestly could not be more grateful that stumbled upon me and that I was able to do that. I did lose a lot doing it. You know, I lost a relationship. A strain has been put on some friendships, but at the same time, you have to do what's best for you, and this was what's best for me, and I'm loving it, and I'm living life, and you know, I get to go on these crazy adventures, and it was all 100% worth it. Now, I will say some of the cons of the Disney College program, it is a lot of working, a lot of hours. Yeah, you do get to play, but you only have so many points, like call out points, and you can't call out and go to the park. So there were days where my friends were all in the park doing things and I had to be at work. So that does get a little difficult. It is hard being away from your family. I missed a lot being away from my family during the college program. I missed the last Christmas with my family before my grandpa passed away. So that was hard. But, you know, you gain a lot too. And I know that he was happy that I was down here living my life. I know my whole family is. And like I said, I met some of the best friends of my life. We lived at Y'all Vista Way, and that was the craziest apartments. Everyone had so many bad stories, but I promise you it's not that bad. This is actually really great. I loved it. It's right there by the buses. It was great for me. But we made Vista Way 2307 literally our home. It was amazing. So if you're living in that room now, what's up? That's our apartment. We're the originals. Just kidding, we're not, because they've been around since 1980s, but still. Yeah, no, it was definitely worth it, and I highly encourage you to at least look into the Disney College program. See if it's what's right for you. I will say you have to be in school in college, or you can apply within 6 months of your graduation date of college. So I know people that waited to graduate to do it. I know people that did it I did it in the middle of my school, and then I did classes throughout it. I will say that was hard, keeping up with classes and working 70 hours a week. It can be done, but I don't highly recommend it. But yeah, definitely, if you've ever had any questions about the college program, look into it, see what you can do with it. It was the best decision of my life. I forever am grateful for it, and you know, because of it, not only do I have my best friends in my life right now, but I also have a sense of happiness that I've never honestly had before. And you know, I work at the happiest place in the world. Well, the most magical place. The happiest place is Disneyland, but it's the second happiest place in the world. It's fine. And yeah, and because of that, I've met the friends that I have today at my current location. I'm able to move up in my job. I'm able to live my life the way I want to live it. Taylor and I were just talking about wanting to go to Disneyland this year. So, you know, just fun things that get to happen. And it was all thanks to the Disney College program. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Try to make it as short as possible. I'm hoping that it stays that way. But yeah, you know, if y'all have any other questions or anything that I missed that you really wanted to hear about, please comment down below and let me know. Also, do not forget to like and subscribe. Share this with your friends. If you have any friends that were wondering about the college program, show them my channel. You know, I have a lot of fun videos on here about that. And yeah, if there was anything I missed, just let me know. And I want to try to make more videos like this where we just sit down and talk and get to know each other. So we'll see what happens, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. Want to say bye, Taylor?